Let's start for you.
Mhm.
Okay, it's still spinning on my screen. Okay then. Um, Hello everybody. This is weekly Subspace desktop meeting. We will be going through the changes. My screen is already shared. Great. So let me start by the closed issues for the last week. We have two. One of them is a fix for the resizable windows. Now our users will be able to resize the windows as they please. Previously, it was a fixed size of 800 times 600. Now it's changed. There is a minimum size though. The fixed size is now the minimum size, so you cannot make it smaller than that since the layout will be gibberish. Other than that, you can enlarge it as much as you like. This is a pretty simple thing, so we can continue. This was a bit painful, so we had some error from our users, and also Justin confirmed and reproduced it in his machine as well. So basically what was happening is on Ubuntu 22, and I believe maybe some other versions as well, the Ubuntu team decided to remove the OpenSSL library of 1.1, which we were using. And that's why the library could not be found in the operating system and app was not starting. To prevent that, actually, there were some workarounds, but we did not choose to go with the hacky solutions. And we found out that our OpenSSL dependency is actually some features of the Tauri that we are not using. So we disabled those features and our dependency with OpenSSL has ended. That's why this problem is solved. Any questions about this? All right, let's move to the open ones. Okay, I think there is only one. Yeah. I just created this before this meeting. After the changes on monorepo side, we will have two different executables probably. One of them is for OpenCL compatible executable, and one of them is the normal version. And OpenCL version will be used by the people who want to utilize their GPUs. But the problem is the Tauri action, the workflow we are using for publish our Subspace desktop application, is not allowing us to put more than one executable per operating system in the same release. So we didn't want to have like release 6.10 and release 6.10 dash OpenCL, like two separate releases. And also it was kind of not easy to change the executable names, like Thinker with the more low-level stuff. So I asked to the Tauri team after meeting with Serge because we couldn't find a great solution with the Tauri action workflow, and Tauri team suggested like we probably should not use Tauri action for this purpose. It's a kind of a specific one. So we will rewrite our publish workflow from scratch and eliminate Tauri actions from there, like abandon it. And then we will have more granular access and control over the things we want to do. So this is a new issue. I will work on that tomorrow. Any questions about this?
Maybe we can, in this case, fork Tauri action and just add what we need, because there is a lot of useful stuff there, right?
Yeah, that's another
Otherwise,
approach.
we end up writing it on our own.
That's another approach. I'm not sure which one will be the best because we can use Tauri build command in like as a plain command as far as I know, and it may be simpler to copy the monorepo workflow and change the things we need compared to Thinker with Tauri actions. There are a lot of useful things as you said, but maybe it will hard to change it. I don't know. Like we can discuss, and I don't have a clear opinion on that as well. So we will see. Any other thing? Okay, let's go to the pull requests, the closed ones. Okay, this is the OpenSSL fix I mentioned. I will mention one or more things about that as well. We don't need to go into this. This is like the PR that allows us to resize the window. Search can talk about that. And other than that, yeah, we don't have anything else. So for fixing the OpenSSL, we were actually allowing everything in the allow list, which is not recommended for security purposes. So we changed it to the things that we need and disabled the other things, for example, HTTP. And also we edited CSP. There were HTTPS in here. And after checking the code myself and confirming with search, we are not using HTTP or HTTPS, so we removed them. So our application is now more secure than previously and also does not depend on OpenSSL. So this was the thing that I wanted to mention extra. That's all on my side. As I mentioned, I will try to write a new workflow or change the tau reactions, fork the tau reactions as Serge mentioned. We will discuss it tomorrow. Serge, do you want to take over?
Yeah. Okay. I believe you can see my screen. Okay, so one issue, like as I mentioned on Monday, like quite a few issues in my client, they require some like design decisions, which I unfortunately cannot make on my own. So I will just recap those. So one of these issues is this one. When we have error for plotting or syncing, we're showing like weird stuff like this, and yeah, we need a proper like error component. And also going to create issue for this, but we need Jeremiah probably to make a decision on this one. Another issue I was working is this one created by Justin, and I created a small PR, but it's not like sufficient to fully close the issue because it also requires some UI UX update. Specifically when we move transition from syncing state to synced state, we have this button which is enabled when there is when we reach 100% of syncing, but we don't have like a UI transition in reverse direction. And apart from that, I was working on the updater feature. And as we discussed, there is like we need some updater server, which could be replaced with a GIST on GitHub. But as we discussed, it's not very scalable because we have like tens of thousands of users, and we like GitHub might ban this repository if there will be too much load. And it will be nice to have like some caching and other stuff. So for this purpose, I found this integration with Cloudflare, and it works. I tried it with like my own forked repository of Subspace desktop. And unfortunately, it doesn't work with Subspace desktop because it requires additional key pair for Tauri updates. So I'm currently working on the integration of those keys into our pipeline. What else? And yeah, apart from that, I was working on the let me share another screen. on the state management prototype using state machines, the one that I described on this Lucid chart. So currently it handles all these transitions, and the problem is because we don't have like a final mockup for a dashboard. I don't know which data we actually are going to display to users. So I cannot like finally integrate it in the application at the moment. But yeah, like the whole concept can be like alternative for what we have now. Yeah, that's all. Any questions?
All right then. Thank you all for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Sorry, next week.